And here we are. This is the Cosmic Watch. I'm Franklin, your astrologer, and your host in the chat room. We'll be joined by the usual crew and usually a few new folks as we go through the next hour. We'll have a chance for them to let us know how they're doing on Friday the 13th and do a reading for those who want to have a card turned for them and a check on what's going on. This is the 13th of January, and it is a Friday the 13th, always associated with bad luck. And also, and here's Karen saying hello. Karen, good to have you join us this evening. How are things for you on Friday the 13th? There are people who say this is a good luck charm for them. There are people who say that this is indeed bad luck. The tarot cards have often been blamed for this because the death card is number 13, and always there's been this association of misfortune and the number 13 because of the tarot card and the numbering system. The numerologist, who should know, say that the lucky numbers are 9 and 12 because the ninth, Sagittarius, and 12th, Pisces, houses are the two that are associated with Jupiter. Jupiter, the planet of good fortune. Unfortunately, it's ever expanding good fortune, and you can't get too much of a good thing. Here's Karen saying she's doing pretty good. Will St. Francis Medical Center hire working labor and delivery? Going to see them on Tuesday. So this is Karen wondering if she's going to be hired on this coming Tuesday. Looks very good. Looks like you have a friend inside, or perhaps they just want you very much. But this is someone looking after your interest, and yes, you're gonna get that offer. Cody joining us and saying, "Hey, Cody, well, how are things going for you on Friday the 13th? This is the day I got married, like 54 years ago, on a Friday the 13th." Karen saying thank you, and it looks like it will be a good week, Karen. This is moon's in Libra tonight, so for the upcoming week, we're gonna have this Libra for the next 3 days, and then of course we'll go on into Scorpio when things will really get serious, and then next week we'll finish out the week in Sagittarius. Very good fortune, very very lucky time. So, and here's Cody saying for this week, for so far doing all right, and that's all any of us can say is so far so good. The the lucky numbers are of course all in your mind, whatever, because lucky numbers would be different for everyone if there truly are such a thing. And not so much lucky numbers, but numbers that mean something to you, the numbers that reoccur throughout your life, numbers you can't seem to get away from. There are people. One of my younger sisters is a 3-8-11, and 3 and 8, or 8 and 3, had forever been the numbers that come up in any kind of paperwork she ever does. Cody says, well, we all have lucky numbers, and we all have numbers that we are drawn to and that we get strength from and that we learn lessons from. That's that's the whole point of us being around, is to learn from each other. I mean, well, what else is the point of having the 8 billion people on the earth if we can't learn from each other, and if we can't be like the folks in the chat room here, generous enough to share the experiences that they have with other people. And it's a wonderful thing that that our guest. This is why we leave the back door open always, and you never know who's going to come in a certain week. This today, if you add up today's number, you come up with 12, and then you add the 1 plus the 2, and this is a 3. If you are born today, you come in year 3 of your 9-year cycles. You know, all of your life, you'll find that you're going through these 9-year cycles where you have the seed of the idea in the first year, and then you're helped out with the sun and the rain and whatever it takes to get you going in the second year. And the ninth year is after you have had the harvest of the crop in the 7th year, and you've shared it with everybody in the 8th year. The 9th year is releasing, letting it go, no matter how good or bad it was. Here's Izzy saying hi. Izzy, how are things in your life on this Friday the 13th? Have you noticed any changes, any ripples in your cosmic world out there? So far, so good, huh? Yeah. It's it's like when Caesar was on the way to that fateful meeting that he had in the forum, and he passed the old seer who had warned him about the Ides of March, and he said, "Well, here it is, the Ides of March, and nothing's happened to me." And of course, the seer historically says, "It ain't over till it's over." It ain't over till the sun goes down. So you got to it, and so much of what we get in life is what we expect. Is what we so often find what we're looking for, right? So often. Cody says, I can imagine what number year was for the year 1996, the year I was born. Oh, oh. Think about this for a moment. There were people who were born in the year 1961, which, if you turn upside down, is still 1961, the reversible year. And that's the year just before we get into the dawning of the age of Aquarius in 62. Izzy saying, what do you see in love for me in this upcoming year? Yeah, this is here we are into the upcoming year. Izzy, in your love life in the upcoming year, what your guides are saying is that it's all up to you. And it's time for you to make a decision among those people, right? Here's Cody saying, "Oh, really? 1961 and 1962. These. Remember, this is when they shot up the first satellite. Telstar went up in 62, and in 1962, on February the 4th, all of the visible planets lined up with the sun. We had the sun, the 5 planets that you can see with the naked eye, the Earth's moon, all in a line pointing to the Aquarius constellation. That was the true dawning of the age of Aquarius. Izzy says, Do you see communication from my other half? Communication coming from the other half who's not around right now. A communication coming in the coming year. Yeah, that is a new path. That is. Uh, mm, uh, Cody says that's good, and it's the path that you have to walk. This is what you have to show other people. What you're here to do. This is what you're fated to do, and you're told these sorts of things through good and bad luck. The way that your guides get your attention is almost always has something to do with money or your health, and that's what you consider to be the lucky people are the healthy people, right? And the lucky people are the ones that get what they want. And so that using good luck where suddenly you feel like all doors are open to you and everything is on go and it's all green lights. And this is how your guides tell you you're on the right path to continue doing what you're doing because things are working out and things are coming to you. And just the opposite, when bad luck, when things start going wrong, this is the surest sign that you need to make a change. If you continue doubling down on what you're doing, you're going to get deeper and deeper in the hole. That's you feel like everything's working against you, and that's truly feeling like you have bad luck. And this is how your guides use good and bad luck almost as a shorthand way of communicating with you and getting you to do what's right, getting you to help other people. This is the biggest rewards you'll find in your life are from helping other people, and it's impossible for a seer to be alone, to live in the cave. They're, they become useless when they have no one to talk to, when they have no one to read, when they have no one to help. That's the whole point of our getting together and our comparing notes with each other and finding out that we're all very much alike. We're all heading for the same place, and nobody gets there without the others helping them, without other people being a part of their life. And this is where having children comes in. You know? Cody says, true, and also the biggest key of life is staying positive in life. Yes, more positive than we are ourselves. The more good things that happen into our lives, it really is a way of attracting like-minded people, upbeat people, uh, and the good things of life, the good people of life. You attract them by being happy, and and you have to realize that sometimes you infuriate other people by your own happiness, and there's not a thing in the world you can do about that. There, just like there are people out there that can't be helped, that can't be changed, because they're not seeing the point of it. They're not learning the lesson that they're supposed to learn, so that they can't be taken away from it. And the bad luck stacks up on top of them, and bad luck attracts bad luck. There's no doubt about that. When people say they're on a losing streak, they know what they're talking about. And when when you hit a bad luck streak, when every door is locked, this is your guides telling you to change, to try something else. You you can't get any worse. Try something else. And Cody is saying, I've always said it plenty of times that I've had to remind myself to work on that. And the problem with life is that it comes at us so fast and surprises us so often. And when we're taken by surprise, we say things before we really think them through, and we leap before we look and get ourselves in all kinds of trouble. And this is why the the wise people of the planet have always said, take it easy. Just don't rush into anything. There's no need to. You can't push the river. You can't make fate happen. You so so go to we all to work on ourselves is the work that we're meant to be doing. It truly is. And um, yes, yes, there's when you feel truly connected to the universe, and you do this by meditation, by opening yourself up and listening to the other souls and the other things going on. Once once you make that connection, you can really distinguish between the souls who are in the good luck portion of their life and those who are fighting, like fighting against themselves, always finding something that to blame on other people. And this is one of the real fallacies of religion. They don't accept each other. They they want to fight each other. Cody says, I've been surprised by other people I meet and the things that happen in my life. And think about how often, with 8 billion people on the planet, how often somebody just happened to walk in your way and get hit with your karma. This is why there is such surprising little once in a lifetime happenings that don't seem to mean anything else. It's that you got in the way of someone else's karma. And we're all like hanging from strings, 8 billion of us out there. And when the wind blows, we all blow against each other and we all mix and mingle. And there are so many wrong paths you can take. There, even if you have your soulmate that you're going to meet again in this lifetime and you know exactly what they look like, you can still be thrown off by people who look very much like them. Right? So to actually find someone that you can spend the rest of your life with is an 8 billion to 1 shot. So without your spirit guides working to bring you together, my wife and I, she born on the island of Guam and me born in Tennessee, would never have crossed paths without the work of dozens of different people through the years that finally brought it together. So it's a way. Life is your way of showing others how it's done and being surprised by other people. The some of the worst people in the world, those that think they know it all, that they don't have to learn anything else. Cody says, know a good example. I would be surprised and trigger when I passed by and see my friend and loved one Jasmine happening plenty of times. Trigger the emotions of thinking that you had seen them before and known them before, and that you already had a story with them. And here's another good point. It's very possible to have more than one karma. This is why people are suddenly drawn out of the lifetime. They suddenly just disappear. They have to go work on another karma that they have. It's not like there's only one per soul. There are people who have experienced lifetimes with two different groups of people. I know my wife is one of those, and it's always a hard thing to straighten out among yourself, because also I and I don't know if this is actually true or not, but I think each of the souls faces that you have had in the different lives, in different reincarnations, still exist in the spirit world. And maybe they can even be reincarnated. And you could meet yourself. I think that's a possibility. Anything is possible. That is the guiding factor of life, is that anything is possible. Evolution says you have to take every path to its conclusion. You have to find out where that pathway takes you to before you know. It's a strange life that we live, because we are fatalistic, right? I mean, we only last 100 years. And to know that is I think, what separates us from the other thinking animals, is that we actually understand the concept of birth, death, and rebirth. And this is what the 9-year cycles are all about, is you continually have to release things. You have to let them go. You have to have birth, death, to have rebirth. And Cody says, I've learned from my reincarnated lives that I've had. I used to think that we only had 9 lives. I had all these close calls in my life, and I could count up the different instances where I just missed. And I think it's perhaps it's both, but I think it's more of how many lives you've had. The more lives that you've had, the more lives you have within each life. The more times that you can dodge the bullet. So I think not only am I in the 9th life, but also in the 9th lifetime. So it may not end with 9 lives. And it may be that you recircle at that point, where you recycle completely. Learning from reincarnation. This is what it's all about. Is to you could be like Enoch. You can write 3 different books written by the same soul, but in different lifetimes. The Enoch was the 7th incarnation, the 7th generation from Adam, the 7th, the blessed. Just like this year is going to be in 2023, it's a blessed time. Cody's saying, I had 2 lives in Russia, 2 lives in Scotland, and 1 in Asia, 1 in South America, following where the people went. right? As people moved around the globe, that means if you started that long ago, that you may have had hundreds of lives by now, and that that would have you in a very blessed area of people who've been allowed to have that many lives that they can recall. Many people are afraid to recall what they did in that life, and it's easy to see why. I mean, I had a life where I was thrown off of the highest building, and I've been afraid of heights this entire life, right? It's there are phobias that you carry with you, and the number 13, right? It's triskaidekaphobia. That's the Latin term for there is truly a disease where people have such a fear of the number 13 that they go out of their way to avoid it and end up running into problems because of trying to avoid it. So um, it's just like the death card in the tarot deck. It very, very rarely means somebody's going to die. It usually means the end of a cycle, the end of an event where you have gotten all of the good out of a person or a situation, and it's time to release them. It's time to let them go. It's just as bad to get stuck in any one step as it is to not follow all steps in your plan. Cody says, my last life, I was in early Hollywood days. Definitely made sense with my personality because of my love of old entertainment. It's almost like seeing yourself. It truly is. This is, think about um, how often people can go back and where they have left themselves a path. Um, uh, Remember Enoch? He wrote three different books in three different lifetimes, and and it's the book of Enoch where they have the first mention of the coming of Jesus. Well, they didn't say Jesus, of course, but the coming of the King of the Jews. And when this is where the wise men read about the coming of Jesus was in the book of Enoch. And one of the three books of Enoch is called Astrology, Astronomy. And it has the star maps that these three kings followed to go to the birthplace. And then they make the big mistake because they're kings. The first thing they did was go to King Herod and say, man, we got some good news for you. The king of the Jews is here. Herod thought that he was destined to be this person who had been prophesied by everyone all the way down to Elijah. Forever, they knew that Jesus was coming. So the, um, the people seem to understand that they can find themselves through looking at their previous lives, in their previous lifetimes, and see where the people that they're going to have problems with in this lifetime, the ones that they will end up battling against, probably their own family member, right? And some of these things are just meant to be. It's the way that that life is trying to take us, and we have right now the final week of Capricorn. And in just a week from now, we'll move over to Aquarius. And there's going to be such a definite change in the atmosphere next week. When we get together next week, same time, same place, we'll see how this week treated people. There's there's a big change coming when you come to the end of one sign and the beginning of another, and that's what we'll be looking at a week from tonight. Is the beginning of Aquarius, the the first planet to be given two guiding um, houses, two houses to guide, or it's the one that people knew the least about. So when they discovered the new planets like Uranus, it was given to Aquarius in the beginning there. Cody says, that's why every time I listen to the old roaring 20s jazz and other variety of stuff way back, I've been getting chill bumps just from watching and listening. Oh, yeah. And that's how you know things are real. When you have these overwhelming reactions. I mean, to feel the hair on the back of your neck go up. For me, it's when I cry. When I know things are very true, and I'm getting the right message across to someone when it puts a tear in my eye. And it's a very good barometer. It is, and music. Think about how long music has been going on. Music and all poetry, all entertainment was invented by the children of Cain trying to make amends. Cain, the punishment God gave Cain was to be on earth for 600 years and to see his descendants come up with things like the sword that his son finally used to put him out of his misery. It's the children of Cain. For music was invented to to be a wonderful thing, a therapy, a soothing, or a driving force in people's lives, and the the beauty of music can be so simple or so complex that it really can take you to a different place. Music therapy is a whole thing unto itself, where people go into the headsets and listen to different things. I'll never forget the first time my friend Mike Hurt made me sit under the headphones and listen to Revolution Number 9. It's when when I was in college is when all of the campus radio stations came on the air all across the country. They opened up the FM band, and they were all almost closed circuit, type of operations. Cody's saying, also know the vaudeville and burlesque theaters came out of the 19th century, popular during the 1860s to the 1940s. There's there's a real numerology to living lives. Numbers that you recognize, numbers that really mean something to you. And it's because we're all supposed to be learning in every life. Everything that comes to you, there's a reason for it. If you can fight your way through through all the advertisements, right? There's always somebody trying to sell you something. Hey, here's AC saying, uh, well, not at all, AC. What is it that I could do for you tonight? What would you like? Would you like a reading, or what's on your mind? A question. Okay, very good. There's nothing better than questions. I just that's yeah, yeah. So what can I look at for you, dear? What uh oh, okay. Okay. that's that that's that's a good question. Now, let's see if we got it right there. EC says, I have SEL, what my lessons may be. Wow, what a great question. What, what, you, you, you knocked me out on that one. Dear, that's, what, what is the lesson that you're supposed to be learning? Oh, wow. You see the little one under the chair? That's your spirit guide, and this is you. You look at the idea. That's what the sword is. It's you you you're searching for the right idea for what does all this mean, and your guide knows. Your guide is trying to tell you that you're supposed to run against the wind in this life. Look where those trees are blowing. You are supposed to help other people. There, there are doctors who get diseases so they can help their patients. There's there's a real thing there. Oh man, man, oh man. Here's Cody saying, remembering lives from from earlier in this century, and also wondering, why does all this music mean so much to him? What what is it that he's building within his mind? AC says another one. Yes, dear. Yes, yes. Let's keep looking. That's that's very interesting. Uh, the if I look over here, I just remember too fast. Like if I look for Cody on why the music means so much, is because he's been killed for it. He's been put to the sword for making music. In one of those former lives, the music was taken away from you, Cody. And he see, if the two lives that you remember are the ones, one of those is your karmic life, the one where your karma was set. If 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 we can zero in on that first life that you remember, the one where you're a child. Oh, oh, there you are. There you are. You can travel on that one. You can. It's your inner child, isn't it? That's still with you. There was another card hiding behind. Look at that. Look at that. This is your inner child playing with you, trying to let you know that good luck, good fortune. It's all about knowing who you are, and how by just living your life, you're going to be able to help so many people. Supposed to carry this lupus with a lot of pain to work out of my previous. Oh, there, the the reason, dear, is, oh, look at this, is because your mind is so strong. This is why you're given the burden to show others how to do it with grace, how to be happy, how to be happy, no matter what, no matter what you're given in this lifetime, and and to see that you do get it is a wonderful thing, dear. That's that's it's to 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 let us all be a part of that. Thank you so much, dear. Thank you so much. Cody says, I know one thing about me and Jackie Gleason we have in common. Big love for music, comedy, serious, drama. Yeah, yeah, yeah. To live it up, to live it up. That's the whole thing, Cody. You are getting the chance to make up for things that were taken away from you. Oh, thank you, AC. Thank you so much for being here, dear. Oh, Cody, there's the music has been taken away from you. The fun. There's been a lifetime where you've had you've had the experience of having the music and then having it all taken away from you. All maybe in an accident or something where you can't play anymore. There's one particular lifetime where it's all about you appreciating what you have, appreciating the gift that you have. Yeah, it does make sense. The to be attracted to every kind of music, everything you hear you like. You can understand it. You can use it. You can you can feel it, right? And that's the wonderful thing about music is that it's just um, a way of feeling things from head to toe and feeling. Why do you think your spirit guides are with you and going to all the trouble of hanging around your life? It's to be able to feel what you feel. Whatever it is that you feel intensely is what your guides are there. That's the reason. They want to feel the love, whatever is whatever is brewing inside of you. As you get older, as you go through life, you're changing every day. You're growing. You're expanding. You're able to take care of more different things or people or pets. Well, you're able to expand. You're able to be more for more other souls. That's why we're here is to work for each other and with each other. I'm a number two. Cooperation is what it's all about. I literally have to cooperate with people, and when when I don't, boy, do I pay a price. When I try to hide from the world, it comes looking for me. AC says the lives I remember are one as an American native, and I just know I was a peaceful one. The other one as a Celtic shaman or witch. Oh, one said terrible in the other. The witches, it all depends on how you're treated by other people. I mean, the Salem witches, I believe my daughter was there and was burned. And these are things that you don't ever get over. I mean, she came to this life with a serious reaction, right? I mean, yeah, yeah. So it's what you're born with. If it's so strong that it's the first thing that shows up when you're a child, this is what you're going to live with for your life. And my daughter has become very spiritual and understands why things have come to her, and it's great to see. It really is. AC says, I was captured and held prisoner. Oh, drowned for teaching people. Yeah, yeah. So obviously you have uh, an urge in this lifetime to be free, to help others be free, to teach others how to swim. Uh, the, the, the drowning must show up so vividly in every reading that you've ever had in your life. They all say, "Well, what's this part about somebody sticking your head under the water here?" Cody says it was cool that you remember that, and it's tough for you to have to deal with something very difficult. Things things are very mm, things happen for a reason. When my daughter was born, I was sitting in the waiting room, and somebody turned on the television, and I heard them say, "Well, today is Halloween, and we are going to have a real witch come on and cast a spell or something." They're trying to be funny, and so the witch comes on and reads this prepared statement that denounces all television networks for making witches look so bad, and how that witches are not evil. And I find myself listening to this as though it's the greatest thing in the world. She says witches are not evil; they're much more like pixies. They try to do good, but when they're swatted down, when they're burned at the stake, yeah, they might use their powers to do things that would be considered evil. Sure, returning evil for evil. That's what we all have to avoid, right? And it's if you can actually. Now, I don't know about loving your enemies. I don't know if I'll ever get there. Uh, to love your enemies. I guess that's the ultimate. That's how you know that you would actually be enlightened. AC says something funny though. I love swimming and I can float. We all react in different ways. We do. That's why this world is so interesting to get into. Cody says my family is very religious. They believe that all witches are evil. Um, yeah, religion. I think religion is best summed up by knowing that what religion is looking for a black cat in a dark room and shouting out, "I found it." Uh, AC says, "I know from that life that I was a wise one." Yes, to be the shaman of the tribe. I I can I can identify with that. And as a child in my karma building life, as a child, I'm living on the streets and I'm taken in by gypsies, a band of gypsies. That's why first time I picked up a deck of cards, it was it was just amazing to see the pictures move to take on a life of their own. Black cat is a sign of good luck. A black cat has always been an omen, and omens mean different things to different people. Two people see the same omen, two seers see the same omen, and they're likely to call it differently. It means different things to them. And this is what we all have to remember is even though our guides come to us and give us all this wonderful information, let us access the Akashic records, find out what is an open path for us in the future to to know all of these things um, is very helpful. Is very helpful. The more you know, the more you work with these things, the more it makes sense. The more it falls in. And what is astrology? Astrology is noting where the stars are and writing down what happens on that day for about 25,000 years. And then you begin to understand what's going on. Cody says there were times that he's seen black cats that look like a good sign. And, oh, yeah, to go taking a ride on the bike, man. Oh, there's so many different ways of finding freedom. So so many ways. Think about the first time you ever flew in a jet plane. Taking off on that thing. That's what riding bikes is all about. And getting that rush. AC says the way I can speak to my guides is when I ask any question, and the answer comes to my mind as an instant thought from nowhere. Because your guides are always there. Your guides are speaking to you, um, to see them. The, the the easiest way to actually get to see your guides is to doze off in front of the television when you're all by yourself. Is to just at about that point right there, a small child will crawl into your lap. Will will will, will just bask in your feel. This is your guides can take any form that they want to take, and usually it's younger sprite types. And what they love to do is to get up in your lap and give you to sleep with you. And the best thing in the world is to fall asleep in your chair. If you want to see the shadows in the corner of your eye, these are your guides. They they're within your mind. So it's not hard to bring them up, to help them, right? To help them come up and give them a reason for coming up by using the information that they give you. Your guides don't make an appearance for nothing. They always have something that they're trying to tell you. They always are coming to you through your own voice. Your guides want to have you trust them, right? So they're going to come to you in the voice that you trust, and that's you. When angels come to you and you think you're seeing the face of God, they always come to you in the form that you will trust. This is why everybody who's ever been on the earth thinks that they look like God. God looks like them, right? Because angels are the face and the hands of God. Angels are who come to earth and give us the messages that we receive. So, of course, they're going to come looking like our most trusted relative or looking very much like us. So we'll trust them. So it all depends on what you need to see. And as far as good luck and bad luck, what do you need in your life? What are you attracting into your life? The amazing thing about the unseen universe that the uncreated creator somehow listens to all billions of people at the same time. Everyone has the same access to the spirit world because we're all going to end up in the spirit world. We're all human, so we we've got about 100 years at best. But some people who who can keep their minds clear. My grandmother lived to be 103 years old and was very lucid at that in her last year and enjoyed life and was the hardest praying person in the world and passed some harsh judgments on people. Of course, anyone her age is is afraid of different things, and fear all changes our lives. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. See, my grandmother lived in three different centuries. She was born in like 1898 and lived past 2000. Talking about past lives, are you able to see if I have had more than the other two? Well, let's see what they'll tell us. What see your guides are speaking to my guides, and my guides are coming through my hand, coming to my fingers. I give myself a chance to pick any card in the deck at any time, and ooh, wow, this is why you don't remember the lives, dear, because they have been chaos. The ones that you are remembering are the good, are the ones you're supposed to remember. The reason you're not remembering the other lives is there's been chaos. There's been death and destruction. Call in natural disasters. Think about how many millions of people have died through the years, just and never even saw it coming. My goodness, it's a tough place, right? Tough room out there. Yeah. Cody says she was born during time of the century era. Yeah, yeah. Oh man, and this is one of the great things about what we're doing here in the chat room. Our guests are able to chat with each other and to reach out to each other and just as you watching the the podcast later on, you can feel these people coming through, and that's that's it for tonight. And I will see you in 1 week, same place, same channel. I'm Franklin, your astrologer, and I really appreciate everyone being in the chat room tonight. And thanks so much for everyone being a part and taking part. And I I do feel blessed by 3 centuries, if that's the case. Wow. Well, okay. Well, as we leave tonight, those in the chat room can continue chatting. So I'll see you next time. Have yourself a wonderful one.